Hi everyone, welcome to EED 220 Geography for Teachers. This is basically a geography class. It's a requirement. You can work as a general class for students in other programs, but it's a requirement for people who are going to be elementary education teachers. And so that kind of seems strange to me a little bit, but it's a North Dakota requirement that we do this. And so here we are. Welcome to class. This is the first time I have taught this class, so you might have to bear with me a little bit on some things, but I'm excited to teach it. I like geography. Geography is interesting to me, so hopefully I can pass that excitement or interest on to you guys as well. Okay. So basically I'm going to go over my SBC, where some things are located, and then go over the syllabus a little bit and talk about some things. Okay. So like I've talked about in my other classes, and if maybe you've seen, but in the latest news, this is the overview page, the overview tab here. And so things that I put into these other tabs will typically show up here. One thing to pay attention to in this latest news, it's also in the news and announcements, is there is a link to my personal Zoom meeting room where I will use that for my office hours throughout the week as I'm doing office hours virtually or online. Okay, so pay attention to that if you want to get into the office hours. I'll talk about office hours when I get into the syllabus. The calendar is also here. It says that we meet on Fridays at noon. We do not meet on Fridays at noon. There is a placeholder, or they have to input a time and a day for online classes, and so they put Fridays at whatever time they can fit in there to do that. In an email I sent previously, I asked if you would have an interest in meeting once a week through Zoom for about an hour a week, which I think would be a good idea for this class. There's kind of a lot of information in here to cover, but please let me know. I've heard from a few of you if you would like to do that, and if you would, we can coordinate a time that works with your schedules, with your other classes, if you're meeting through Zoom or have to meet face-to-face for any of them. I'm pretty flexible in my classes. I am teaching a fair amount of classes, but I'm flexible in the days and times that I would be willing to meet. So shoot me an email, let me know your thoughts on that. The calendar also has the assignments and things that are coming up, same with the coursework. Okay, so that's just a general overview. A few tabs that we will use in this class include the coursework tab, of course, where you have all your assignments. The resources tab are the two big ones that we will use most. The discussion forum we may or may not use depending on how things go with if we meet face to face over Zoom. Or how that works. Okay, so let's jump into the coursework stuff, and you can see the assignments that we have for the semester. Some of these are not showing up yet because I must not have them activated. But anyway, so we will have quizzes over each chapter, okay, which is pretty typical for my classes. Now, my quizzes are open note, open book quizzes because I am really looking for you, especially in an online environment, for you to take those quizzes, but not to guess on those quizzes, but if you don't know the answer, to go searching for that information, okay? And so you can use your textbook, or you can use the PowerPoints that I have here in my resources tab to do that, okay? We also have, and they don't show up here, but I'll come back and make them visible, several presentations where you do a country presentation. The first three chapters in the book talk about like tools and geography in general. And then the second and third chapters talk about the physical process of geography, and then the third chapter is the human process of geography. Okay, then after that, chapters 4 through 11 are all about different regions of the world and countries and how they're connected to physical geography and human geography and so on and so forth. Okay, so the first three chapters are shorter, and then we get into the countries and regions of the world, and they get to be a bit longer. Okay, but you're going to have to do some presentations on a country of your choice, and there'll be some requirements on that. The presentation can be a variety done a variety of ways, whether it's a video that you create, a PowerPoint where you do a voiceover. It can be a Prezi, any type of presentation software that you prefer to use. You can do a Zoom recording and share your screen. You can do a Screencast-O-Matic, just like I'm doing here. And so lots of options to do in terms of those presentations. There's also several other assignments in the coursework section here that are newer assignments that I haven't worked with before. So as we get closer to those, I will explain those, talk about those in a little bit more detail. Okay, but just so you know that chapter quizzes, presentations, and then some specific assignments dealing with geography, maps, those different countries across the world. Okay, the one thing that we have this week, because I know it's a little bit sketchy, or getting books is, people are still getting books this week, is to do this one assignment here called What is Geography? Okay, so this is connected to a question in the discussion forum. Okay, the one question that I do have for sure. Okay, and basically it says, what is geography and what does it mean to you? So for your first assignment and only assignment for this week is to go into the discussion forum, click on this geography question and tab, and answer this question. Okay, I want to get a sense of what you think geography is and what it means to you. Okay, if it's just people, places, and things, if it's location, latitude and longitude, GIS, GPS. I mean, there's a lot of things that geography entails. But I want to see what you think about it. You do not have to respond to anybody, but you do need to respond to this question. You sure can respond to others if you want, but that is totally up to you. Okay, and that is due by Sunday the 17th at midnight. Okay, all the assignments are due on Sundays at midnight. Okay, so yeah, coursework section. You're going to spend a lot of time in here in terms of finding your assignments. Okay. And like I said, the other big section is the resource section. Okay, so all the chapter PowerPoints are downloaded in here. This is what I will use when I go over topics and information. It's a summary of the chapter. The book is pretty thick. The book has a lot of good information and interesting information to me because I do like geography. But there's a summary and a shorter version of the book stuff in these PowerPoints. It doesn't necessarily cover everything in the book. Or everything that might be on the quizzes, but there is good information in here. Okay? And as we continue to move forward and we talk about different things, I will add different resources and bookmarks and websites, whatever, in this area here as well. And I will sure let you know when I add those in. Okay. Like I said, discussion forum will be depending on how we move forward with the class, will be used from time to time, or maybe not at all. The grade book is where you can obviously find your grades, and then the chat, I do not use that at all. So that's not something you have to worry about. Okay, so we'll pull the syllabus up and we'll go through that real quickly and talk about a little bit of the information in there. A lot of the stuff that is important you will find here in my SBC, and you will get through either these videos, or else we will visit about when we have our Zoom meetings. Okay, so I talked about the Zoom link, my personal Zoom link, and so these are my office hours, my online office hours. So Monday 3 to 4, Tuesday 3 to 4. And then Wednesday midday-ish, kind of 10 to 1, and then Thursday and Friday mornings 8 to 9 a.m. Okay, if those times don't work and you want to meet with me through Zoom, just get a hold of me and let me know. I will be doing most of my stuff remotely from home, but if you call my office phone number and leave a message, I will get it through because it comes through my email. Otherwise, call my cell phone or text my cell phone, or send me an email. Okay? If I'm not busy, I'll respond. Okay? And so it's a 3-credit class. Again, it's online or Zoom. Hopefully, I've heard from some of you and you prefer to meet face-to-face for an hour a week, and we'll try to do that if the majority of folks want to. Okay? So this course basically talks about geography. Okay? Geography is the arrangement and location of phenomena on the face of the earth, and the association of that phenomena with characters or characteristics to different places. Okay? So we're going to look at world and regional geography concepts, materials fundamental to understanding Earth's physical and human landscapes. Okay? And then we're also going to take a look at hopefully like different indigenous communities to areas around the regions of the world, okay, and what those look like, how those might be similar or different to our indigenous communities. Okay? So a few outcomes that we got here. What is world, what geography and world geography are. Looking at the major cultural regions of the world, the physical regions of the world, some of the historical events that have impact on world geography, especially looking at different regions of the world, how that geography has changed when talking about like country borders and boundaries. And then looking at location and distribution of economic systems as well across the world. Okay? So some different things to kind of look at besides just maps. Okay? I talked about looking at the indigenous populations and communities across the world. So that's going to be our cultural relevancy activity that we will have this semester. Okay? The technology component is everything. We will do a lot of stuff with technology, obviously, since we are a little bit remote and online here this semester. Okay. Student attendance policy. This is our COVID attendance policy that we used last semester. In order for me to count you as present this semester, if we do online Zoom meetings for an hour a week, if you attend that, you will be counted present. If you can't attend that, then you have to be engaged in MySBC throughout the week in order for you to be counted as present. What does that mean? That means that you either turn in an assignment on MySBC, or you are active on MySBC. I can go in and see like who is logged in, how long you have been logged in for, etc. So if you are active in that for a good chunk of time, an hour or more per week, then that will be counted as present. If you contact me, communicate with me back and forth about assignments or questions or whatever, that will also count. If I hear nothing from you that whole week, then you will be counted as absent. Okay, so one of the things that is a little bit different, I have my assignments due on Sunday nights, and they want us to do attendance by Friday. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of I don't know, I'll have to do some wiggle room with some of that stuff. So I'll do attendance on Fridays. If I don't hear anything from you by Sunday at midnight, then I'll have to go back in and change that attendance. Okay, so just please make sure you're connecting with me or being engaged in MySBC, getting on, looking at PowerPoints, reading through things, etc. Okay, looking at the videos. You'll get this video in an email, but I'll also have them posted on MySBC as well. Okay? So here you have a general outline of the topics and on how often or how long we will take to cover those topics. Some of these chapters are quite lengthy in terms of when we get into the regions and the countries of the world. The first three chapters are pretty short in terms of that, but just be aware that we'll cover a lot of information. We're not going to cover all of it, but we are going to cover quite a bit. So please take some time to skim the book ahead of time. I won't expect that you would read every single word the whole way through, but please take some time to look at the book, skim through it, look at some topics, some chapters, some information, look through the PowerPoint before, if we have Zoom and face-to-face, before we do that, so we can have a good discussion if needed. Okay? Lastly, on the syllabus, if you have a disability and you need some extra help with that, you can contact our disabilities coordinator, who is Derek Stewart. His phone number is here. So a physical, emotional, medical, learning disability, anything that might impact how you're able to complete this course, he will help you with that. He will provide us with information. You can also share with us or me as well if you have a disability, and I can help you through that with accommodations and stuff as well. Okay, that's the syllabus in a nutshell. That's the course. Real quickly, these videos only allow me 15 minutes, so please make sure that you log into MySBC, get into the coursework, and get this first assignment done. What is geography? That's a question that you have to answer in the discussion forum, and that's about it. Okay? If you have questions, please let me know. I look forward to this course and teaching you a little geography, and I'm excited for the semester. Take care, and we'll see you soon.